It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and this one features the Ravens' field-stretching tight end. He was catching everything last week, had himself over 250 yards. It's the Ravens and the Seahawks, and it's all up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And leading the charge, we get a look at their 6-year quarterback.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it, because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The numbers for Gibbs from last week: 23 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff, because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And there's a lot of good to watch in the game last week. He threw 4 touchdown passes. A little bit of concern throwing the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, the 2 pick.
Yeah, you want the ratio really to be closer to 3-to-1 as opposed to the 2-to-1 that he had, but it is something to build on. They did get the win, didn't they?
Yeah. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game has to be sky high. In fact, you'd be absolutely stunned to come away with a loss in that one. Could you imagine going to the press conference and trying to explain that?
And a short gain down to about the 33. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. You talk about this Seahawk defense. Yeah, they come in the top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, let's go, big boy. You're still our leader.
Purdy's throw caught here by Metcalf. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be second down. They go play action here. Purdy. Blitz coming, and down he goes. David Ajabo running in to take him down. So here's a 3rd and 14. Purdy looking to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Oh, what a move. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
But you look at this defense. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 57 yards.
There were some signs of life from their ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Lyman can set their blocks and hold them a little bit longer, and he can be quicker to the hole and hit a lane. If they do that, they should get some better numbers produced this week.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Down the right sideline.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Oh, Lamar Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play. He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter.
Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Let's go. Hey, hey. Go.
Now a give right side.
And the ball is knocked out.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes?
After review of the play,
so that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. A handoff, Swift running to the left.
And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
How about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
On 3rd down, Jackson eluding the pressure right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year.
And the Ravens go up by 2 touchdowns. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, All right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Another run for Gibbs here. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Purdy. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Odafe Oweh showing off the pass rush skills.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive.
It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Now he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10.
Now it's Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And it is caught. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and the 1st down.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Swift going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk.
That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Mitchell will score. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And it is now 21-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
And out now come the Seahawks.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Throwing here, Purdy.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
On third down, here's Gibbs. Now he's free to midfield. How about this? He's to the 10.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
Jahmyr Gibbs with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit.
Now the try here for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it was all capped off by a touchdown run from Jahmyr Gibbs.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Here's 2nd and 10.
No, we changed it.
Now it's Jackson.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, and then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Again, Jackson.
That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And that is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On second down, Jackson. And he comes back with one complete. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there.
Picked off by Jamal Adams. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game.
Purdy to throw it on first down. Got his man. It's Thornton.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
There's Purdy on first and 10. The short throw pulled in by Woods.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Second down and 4. Purdy now to throw.
That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia.
And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Now for the point after. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly... The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They played the Browns last week, got the victory in that game, and so far so good as they've got the lead here. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Shoves him away. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Try the right side with Mitchell.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
Play action. It's Jackson. His throw incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
Jackson dancing to his left.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
They go play action now. Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Seahawks are going to get the football back at their own 17.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They'll go again with Gibbs.
This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Taking on the midfield logo.
Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards.
And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Here's Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Trent McDuffie with a pick. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just...
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Roquan Smith,
a milestone sack for him as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132.5. Throwing on 2nd and long.
Purdy.
Under pressure, they got him again.
Patrick Queen
in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
The Seahawks send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. And taken at the 46. They'll score that a 36-yard punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field.
The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in one play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something to focus on for them as well, because it's not quite no harm, no foul, but the
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
And the Seahawks will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Roquan Smith getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Back to throw, Purdy. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Now Purdy.
And that is incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field.
And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson, escaping the pressure right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jamal Adams.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Throwing on 2nd down, it's Purdy.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Patrick Queen
able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding, offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Taking it about the 36.
Well, following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
3 quarters have come and gone.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now here on EA Sports. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. He'll get this up to about the 44.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Swift running left. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They will run straight ahead with Swift. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. DeAndre Swift taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Ravens have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th. On 3rd down and short and everything well executed, he not only gets the first down, Charles, he gets the touchdown as well.
And you see the defense commit to the run so often in these situations, but there's always that little bit of hesitancy, isn't there, partner? Thinking that they may play action you. They took advantage of that hesitancy and found their way into the end zone with a running play.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Out of the gun, Purdy. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Odafe Owe picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one.
Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. And the Ravens are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
And now here is another interception.
Trent McDuffie with a pick.
Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Odafe Owe getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Here's Purdy.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle.
DK Metcalf.
58 yards.
And the Seahawks get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21.
So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick.
And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now Jackson on 1st down. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Here's Swift. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. DeAndre Swift with now 2 4th quarter touchdowns. And the Ravens are able to stretch out their lead. So it goes from a 3-score to a 4-score lead here in the closing moments of the 4th quarter. And whether they got that bonus touchdown or not, it's been a pretty impressive performance.
And they did it with not much time left. But they took what little time was on the clock and used it well, didn't they? Put a real exclamation point on their win with that score.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Baltimore, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.